Yes, so welcome once again to Breakthrough with Jeff. And today we are talking about some patterns I've seen with people that reach a place in their life and make a decision. And the decision is enough is enough. And I've read so many stories of people that were born in, situations like poverty. They were born in addictions, relationships, broken relationships, patterns of divorce, patterns of drinking, patterns of self-demeaning, rejection, and whenever you see a family and you see someone enjoying life and enjoying freedom, when you look back to their history and their life, someone somewhere in their lineage had to stand up and say, enough is enough. Someone has to stand up, someone has to say, this is enough. And now I know people that just continue, if your parents were thieves, you just continue the same and you ask, how can I change? Because this is the way my lineage has been. This is the way I was born in such and such situation and circumstances. So, hey, who am I? Just flow into it. So when you see a wealthy family, you see a happy family, you see people enjoying relationships, you see people enjoying life, enjoying company with each other, people relating with each other, with love, with peace, with joy. It's never given to you. It's never something that is just handed over to you and you're told, receive this. No, no, no. And perhaps you're someone that is enjoying your father's fight for freedom or your mother's fight for freedom. Maybe your mom fought on her knees for you to be free, for you to enjoy the freedom. Otherwise, you go through the same relationship patterns of always people getting married, they get divorced, you go of poverty. Someone somewhere had to stand on their feet, ground themselves and say, enough is enough. Now, looking at your life, there are still perhaps patterns that are playing at the backyard of your life, at the background of your life, that you may pass to your kids and pass to the next generation and play and accept them as things that are things that, are normal. I tell you, until that moment, the things that are overwhelming you, the burdens, the baggages, the pain of your heart, until the moment you say enough is enough, nothing is going to change. And let me ask you a question. If it's not you, then who? If it's not you that is going to put your foot down, and ask yourself, what is it that I can do to break this curse? What is it that I can do to break this spell? What is it that I can do so that these addictions end with me? What is it that I can do that this pain of poverty can end with me? You see, in all of us, we have that potential to cut loose the chain that is tying us to places we don't deserve to be. And these things are not just for us. We are here to make a contribution to the bigger world, to our children, to this world, to the planet. What is it that you can do to end all this suffering that surround you? The story about your family being cursed and about the pain of broken relationships and dysfunctional kind of relationships can end with you. The story of your family always, coming from a place of lack and limitation, it can end with you. I tell you for a fact, it's a decision. It begins with a decision. It begins with the pain of saying, enough. Enough is enough. I don't like it now. I don't like it tomorrow. I don't like it ever. It's going to end with me. But do you know what people do? They blame their parents. They blame the people that actually they inherited all this pain from. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be poor. If it wasn't for my father, I wouldn't be poor. I wouldn't be like this. My relationships would be straight. Let me tell you something. If it's going to be, it's up to you. You have to reach that place where you say, enough is enough. This thing ends here. Or the other option you have is you can just pretend that nothing is going on. You are born to live this limited life. You are born to be limited and accept it like it is. And just allow things, you go from one year to another. You're going now to another year of pain, another year of frustration, another year of broken relationships, another year of, emotional pain, emotional lack, emotional rejection. These things are not normal. Do not accept them as normal. I remember, we sat with one of my friends and I say, if you're coming from a poor family, then you are the first example. You're the first one. You have an opportunity to be the first person to showcase how it feels to be wealthy. And that has to happen by you changing the way you think. As long as there's a story in your mind, as long as there's a story in your head that this is who you are and this is the way life is supposed to be, then you're going to live in that limited perspective of who you are and what is possible. Some of us come from a lineage of sicknesses. A certain month, all of us you just fall sick and you just say, this is the way we are. It's allergies in our family. It's a thing. Can you be the person that shows leadership? Be a leader. Declare, I am a leader. Defy the odds. Set a new standard. Step up, step up, step up, step up. The moment you step up, you decide you're going to raise the standard. Your emotions, your internal setup, the way you're wired begin to rewire for success. But unless you step up, there's no rewiring. You continue the same system that you found. You continue the same system of pain, the same system of lack, the same system of impossibilities. Let me tell you who you have to be. Because the big question is, who do I have to be to break the spell? Who must I be to create a new life and new possibilities so that generations that come after me can speak of me as a leader, as someone that broke the spell? You have to be a leader. You have to be an emotional leader. I'm not talking about positional leader, emotional leader, someone that makes a decision to raise their standard and make it an absolute must. It's not negotiable. See, don't make poverty negotiable. Don't make sickness and pain negotiable. Come on now. Don't make it negotiable whether you stay in poverty or not. Don't make it negotiable whether you stay small or not. Don't make it negotiable whether you stay in the same broken relationship after another. Don't make it negotiable. Life is a fight for territory. And if you don't fight for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. Les Brown says, if you want something bad enough to go out and fight for it, to give up your sleep, to give up your need to be accepted by others for it, to separate yourself so you can equip yourself to go for the thing that you love to have, to break the need, to break the spell and to be free, the freedom. If you put all your energy into that thing that you desire so much, and you go out for it with all your strength, your capacity, and everything that God has given you, with God's help, you're going to have it. And very soon, you begin to enjoy things and you're like, oh my God, I never, ever in my life imagine. I remember I just took my dad, to one of the 5-star hotels, and and my dad and mom, we had this awesome experience of 5-course meal. And the first time it came, my dad was like, wow, it's so tiny, but it's so beautiful. The taste is so good. And I'm like, there's more coming, and more kept on coming, more kept on coming. And he was so happy. At the end of it, I'm like, wow. And he told me, this is my first experience to have such an experience. Who would have thought that I would have such an experience? And what a joy for a son to hear that from his father, that I made it possible that I can take anyone I love and give them a beautiful experience that perhaps my dad would not have, given himself. That is as simple as that. You're making things that are impossible possible. Things that you'd only dream of. I used to think, oh, that's a waste of money. We say that when we can't reach it. It's a higher standard. Anything that you can't reach, you get a reason. Anything that you can't reach, you get an excuse. No, that's a waste of money. Why do people waste money flying all over the world? Why do people waste money going to these expensive hotels, driving these expensive cars, living in these prestigious places? Why do people waste money? Let me tell you, that is an excuse. It's an excuse to remain small. And you have to break that story and create a new story of possibilities, a new vision. You cannot put a new wine in old wineskin. The wineskin must be new. You yourself, you have to be new. Your way of thinking, the way you see yourself, your identity has to be new. And that's why I give my clients 5 steps, identity creating, old identity breaking, and then we create a new identity process. And I give you a workbook that actually takes you step by step to redeem yourself, because the greatest joy for me is to see you free. Because when you're free, if I can give you that gift, I've not just touched you, I've touched your son, I've touched your daughter, their children, and their children's children. When I'm dealing with someone, I know I'm dealing with generations, 100 of generations to come. That's who I am. I don't just, it's not a shallow thing. Coaching is a deep experience. You dive deep to possibilities. You create things that you never thought were possible, my friend. That life that you see other people living, it's possible for you. That life you dream and read in books, you can create it. But you see, The first thing is you have to break free from the life that created you, from all these stories that created the person you are. You've come to accept limited stories about what is possible. The relationships you've been through has created to you stories and beliefs of what is possible. I want you to break that and create something new. And I want you to watch the world. I mean, there are so many examples of people that are living the life you dream of. Draw near to those people. Listen to the way they speak. Listen to their vision. Listen to the way they talk. They don't talk limitation. They talk abundance. They talk gratitude. Even when something is going wrong, they don't focus on that. They focus because their mind is totally, totally made up. I got my mind made up that I won't look back. This is time to make yours. It's time to make a decision. The decision that my life will never be the same again. If I have to walk, I'll walk. If I have to crawl, I will crawl. If I got to fly, I'll fly. But I ain't staying in this position of suffering. Not anymore. Not another year. And I'm not listening to all these small men that surround me, because all of us are surrounded by these small men that will always talk you down. That will always tell you, oh, it's not possible. Oh, you're aiming too high. Don't you think this is too high? Let me tell you a secret. Reality is a prison of small men. They talk about being realistic. And that's why I think the smart formula of creating goals is not smart enough. Because you're smart at the level you've been existing. But then Einstein said that you cannot create a new life with the same mindset that created the one you have right now. So you have to divorce your current state of things. You have to divorce your current mindset. You have to divorce it. You can't trust it. You cannot trust the current state of things, current emotional state that you've experienced. Give yourself permission to experience something new. Find a coach, find someone who can listen to you and tell you, this is limitation. There's something deeper in you. There's something bigger in you. There's something you can dive into so you can unleash your greatness. So you can unleash some greater possibilities. See, the greatest pain is for you to just be your parents, to just play at the same level. Some of us have not even reached at the level of our parents. We are still babies. We are still being babies. Let me tell you a secret. Again, you'll never be able to influence your parents and tell them anything as long as you're playing under them. My mom told me, you cannot reach the same level of education that I reached. You cannot earn the same money I earn. Son, you have to aim higher. And that helped me. Every time I look at my dad was a politician. And I'm like, okay, how do I play a higher standard? And I said, for me, I want to give to the world. I want to lead the world. My dad would have led our, location, where I come from. But I want to lead the world. I want to be someone that is a thought leader. I wrote down and I said, this is the standard I'm going to play. I am a thought leader. I want to meet someone and blow their mind and show them that whatever has been giving them success, there's something even higher, bigger than that. I want to be that person. And that's why I open myself to inspiration, to God, to be able to be that vessel that can touch the world. Because you cannot touch the world with your limited mindset of just looking from this realm of existence. Raise your standard. Be fearless. Be fearless. Raise the standard of where you want to go. Okay, so we're talking about you breaking the spell of whatever it is that you've been going through. Some of us ignore, it's okay. This is just but let me tell you, there are patterns in your family. I want you to write down. What are the patterns you're seeing? Patterns of relationships, patterns of the way people treat each other, patterns. Break the spell. Break the curse. Patterns of money, of lack, of pain. Write it down fast. You cannot fight a giant that you don't know. You cannot fight a giant. You see, the reason David defeated the giant, first of all, apart from God's power and God using him, was the fact that he had really good information about the giant. He knew this guy is not even circumcised. He knew that. Other guys didn't know it. That's why they didn't say it. You have to make a study and say, who are you, uncircumcised, giant? Who do you think? And that was a big thing, for their culture then. So you have to study your giant. You have to know, this is it. This is where I come from. I'm coming from a world of poverty. People are thinking small. I'm coming from a history of small thinking. I'm coming from a history of people putting each other down. I'm coming from a history of, people, always aiming and going down and never really raising up. I'm coming from a history of failure. You have to understand from where you come from and then aim high. Where do you want to go? And place your aim there. As high as you can go. I think it's Les Brown. He said that aim at the moon. You're going to be one among the stars. If you aim at the moon, even if you miss, you'll be one among the stars. Do not enter the next year with the same mindset, with the same aim. The reasons most of us, don't really aim high is not that we aim, the reason we fail is not that we are aiming so high and we are not hitting it. The main reason we fail is actually we are aiming too low and we are hitting it. We are successful. And I dare tell you, you're always successful. You're wired to win. You're winning at your aim. If you're aiming at poverty, you're winning. You're a winner. All of us are winners. So don't look at someone else that is winning at a game that they planned and aimed and you're jealous of them. You are also winning. You're winning at being lousy. You're winning at being neglective of things that can help you. You're winning at being lazy. You are winning at being, looking at, primary things and making them secondary. You're winning. You're always winning. You're winning. And always, not aiming high. You're winning at aiming low. You're winning. Always you're winning. You're winning at proving that you can be poor. You're winning. You're always winning. You cannot help but win. Question is, what are you winning in? That's it. What differentiates us is not whether we are winning. All of us were created to win. All of us are wired to win. Anything you put your focus on, you're wired to win. You're winning at being overweight. You're winning at being, thinking small. I mean, if people want to study small thinking, they will come to you. You're a winner. You're winning. You're winning at, collecting the losers and joining the losers. You're winning. You're winning. Who else can do that? So the thing is, if you want to win at a higher game, you raise your standard. That's why we have coaches. That's why I have a coach, because I believe I'm not perfect. I believe that, sometimes I want to win at a small game. Sometimes I aim too low. And then with my coach, just tell me, no, we can raise the standard. Let's win at a bigger game. Let's set a higher standard. The higher the standard, the more you're winning, the better you're winning for yourself. Because most of us are winning against ourselves. You're winning. So don't pray, God, make me a winner. God already answered that prayer. You're already winning. You're winning at being broke. Who else can tell the story of brokenness than you? You're winning at being broke. It's you to decide this next year, what are you going to be winning at? But it's not that you're praying to be a winner. You are a winner. You are born that way. It's like praying to be human. You are a winner. You cannot help but win. Question is, what are you winning on? I'll leave it there. Make the decision. If you need my help, call me up, search me, Breakthrough with Jeff, or you can just click on the link below and let's connect. Let me help you win at a game that you'll be proud of yourself that you got into for the next 1 year. Thank you. Stay blessed. Goodbye.